Sean McGee, and one of the laws over there. Is it La Choya? Or La Cañada? One of those two. La Cañada. Okay, I know it was one of those. So McGee and La Cañada, you go over there at 2 o'clock. The bishop's going to be there. He's doing what's called a holy huddle. And guess what? We need people who are reconciling people to be in that space, to be part of that conversation about what's going on in the Methodist Church, so that people hear those voices. And there's going to be 4 of those as we move forward. This is the first of them. I'll let you know about the other ones as they come. They're all in December. But we need our voices there. So if you can be there at 2, we'd love to have that happen. This last week, our conference lay leader, our district lay leader, her name is Maritza, she lives in Nogales. She sent a letter to us that said that 80 plus Haitians had arrived at the border. They're sitting in churches on the Nogales side, the Mexican side of that city. And they're taking care of them. But you know what they need? Things like shampoo, soap, toothpaste, all those things that wash the body. And guess who can do that? If you get them here to me, I'll get them down to there. Tijan needs some of those same types of things. You saw the flyer that we gave you a week ago. They're still looking for things like tin foil and whatnot to be able to help with that. That is a ministry that you have supported so wonderfully well for years. Where you looked into the lives of vulnerable folks and you said, let's help those people. So look and see how you can bring something in for Tijan, for Nogales, and for however it happens. Look for ways that you can give to someone. On Tuesday, there's an opportunity for you to stand with Standing Rock. At Senator McCain's office at 5 o'clock, we're going to be there, and we are going to say, we stand with Standing Rock. Because how many don't think you're going to probably get up to the Dakotas? But you can be here and lend your voice to what they're doing, and you can say, we are there for them. Ron placed a yellow sheet of paper on your chairs about something you can do on Thanksgiving Day. Look and see if that's something where your heart can become something.
The time might be adjusted.
The time might be adjusted, but at Thanksgiving Day, that day when we're supposed to be thankful, use that thankfulness to be there with someone else. That might be what you can do. And the last thing I'm going to mention, in these next few weeks, we have two populations that I think we need to be especially aware of because of much of the rhetoric in this election. Immigrant communities and the LGBT community are especially at risk right now, and we need to be there and present for both those communities. They need to know that they are not alone and that the love of God is flowing somehow there in spite of all the other messages they're going to hear. And they're going to hear a lot of anti-messages. They're going to hear a lot of hate. They're going to hear a lot of pushing away. We need to embrace and draw close. We need to make sure that those two communities especially hear our messages of love and grace and acceptance. And so speak those well and loudly. How will you choose to be involved? How will you choose to be active? Because right now, we need active, strong, and willing people to step into spaces and be something for our community. If we're going to move from what has happened wrong to what can be, if we're going to let God move in us, then we've got to open our hearts to that God. Isaiah 65, that I read right at the beginning, said that God is about to create a new heaven and a new earth. In this moment of loss and decay, in this moment of, oh my gosh, what do I do now? What do? We begin to create that new heaven, that new earth. From that Nazi Germany, Dietrich Bonhoeffer began to create something more. And it was a lot of other people that helped with that. And each one of us need to add our hearts somehow to that rebuilding, that new creating. We need to become something. That's what this church has always been about, hasn't it? And that's what we need to do right now. But to do that, I want to give you one last quote. Dietrich Bonhoeffer said, "We must allow ourselves to be interrupted by God." And so we're going to pray for a little bit. And we're going to pray for surprises about what can be. About what we can be. About what that person across the aisle can be. Because you know what? I made you face this way because sometimes we face straight ahead and we only look at what we want to look at. But we've got to look across relationships, don't we? We have to see more than what we've seen before. We have to look deeply into eyes and hearts and become interrupted by God and surprised by God so that we can, in this moment, discover all the ways that God is working. Will you pray with me? Dear God, we are so thankful for all that is being done in so many ways. So grateful for all the ways that today we get to become something more. And we hesitate, sometimes because we don't want to do the wrong thing, sometimes because we don't know the right thing to do, sometimes because it looks so difficult to move forward. Instill in us a gratefulness for what you are already doing so that we can find the strength to do even more. Give us resolve in the face of whatever is not right to begin to do something that is. Help us to be thankful in amazing ways, knowing that in the midst of whatever is lost, one thing remains: your love. Help us to rest in that love. Help us to rejoice in that love. Help us to become that love so that this world can truly become the amazing place you envision it to be. Instill us with your vision. Help us to become that vision. Amen. So your job now is to give thanks. Today you're going to respond. And you know what? You might have noticed those kids didn't leave many instruments for you. So you're going to have to just be noisy as you come forward or go backwards. Because I'm going to have baskets here and up here in front. And I want you to come. Today is that Giving Thanks Sunday where we're supposed to bring our cards of what our stewardship is. And I told you not to just bring a card that says, I'm going to give $1 million to the church. Right? I also want you to bring your hearts. And as you bring those hearts and you bring your prayers and presence and gifts and service and witness, I want you to place all of those in those baskets. And I'm going to have you make a joyful noise. And this is what you're going to do. I think you can do it. You ready? Here's your joyful noise. Your love never ends, never gives up, never runs out on me. Think you do? Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails. Come on forward and bring your gifts. Never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up. that love for this world. Oh, you raggedy band. Let's stand and sing our final song.